Good morning and welcome to Awaken, the sanctuary for your soul. How yummy it is for the opportunity to pull your focus away from the outer world and consciously and intentionally move your awareness inward. So vitally important to start your day inside because you're outside so much of the time. Your focus is outside. You hear the ticker tape of what people are saying, the thoughts, the ideas, the opinions that aren't truth, right? They're opinion. I was at a bookstore this weekend and I found it's a reused books, reused, funny kind of word for books, right? Reuse. But I found this book from 1941 and it is a book by Charles and Cora Fillmore, who were part of building unity and the mental sciences. And it's called Teach Us to Pray. And since you all know how much I love to pray and how I find it's my date with the divine, right? But so is meditation. Meditation is a conscious, intentional date with the divine where you pull your awareness, you pull your focus, you withdraw, you disconnect from the outer world and enter the inner world. I like to call it the inner net, right? It is the most powerful technology in this world where AI is just happening all over. I call, this invitation to go within your accessibility intelligence. You get to amplify, you get to connect, you get to turn within. That phrase, some of you may have heard, turn within. What that means is disconnecting, unplugging, stepping away. One of my favorite sentences is step away from the commentary, right? It's an intentional action where you make a choice to turn within to the great within. In my belief, so I'm sharing this with you, you get to believe what you want. The original sin was that we are separate from the divine, that we are separate from God. And we are not. This great, grand, and glorious presence is at the very center of our being. So when we meditate, we set up, you can even have your date with the divine. When we meditate, it is an intentional choice to tap in, tune in, turn on our divine wisdom. You don't have to go anywhere. You just sit right in your cozy home, in your cozy chair, or on your couch. Or if you're somebody that, is in bed, you just make sure that your back is straight. And if you are sitting up, that your feet are flat on the ground, your back isn't rigid, right? That's why every morning I have us roll our shoulders, because if you're like me, someone who's very kinesthetic and somebody who needs to move, it really helps me to move my body so I can sit. Because when you begin meditation, and even sometimes after you've been a veteran meditator, you may have the laundry list of things that you have to do before you sit and concentrate on the stillness, focus on the stillness, do the laundry, do the dishes, make that phone call, send that email, write that book, right? All of these things that you think, oh my gosh. And that's okay. You just sit. And the more you learn to sit, the more that you just allow these thoughts, these ideas to just flit through your awareness without attaching to them. Or sometimes what happens is you have an itch, right? You have to scratch, on your nose. And it just feels like if you don't do it, you're going to lose your mind. It's just part of the process. It's not that you have to be perfect at meditating at all. It's that you meditate. It's that you set this time aside. You make it holy, you make it sacred. And then you turn within, you consciously and intentionally, in film industry they call pull focus, right? But you can say it however you want so it lands on your heart, to withdraw your focus from the outer world. And then move your awareness to your heart center. Now, in yoga, sometimes you roll your eyes up toward your third eye, and sometimes you move your awareness toward your heart center. Depends on the asana that you're doing, the kriya, the yoga posture that you're doing. But for our purposes, we're just going to move our awareness into the heart center and focus on the heart. I like to think of the heart as this field of love, field of light that we rest in for as long as we meditate. Now, something that came through to me many years ago that I've shared with my clients is something called take 5. Now, so many times people will say to me when I'll ask clients, do you meditate? I don't have time. Well, I'm going to challenge that, because you may have time to stop at Starbucks and get a cup of coffee, or your favorite coffee store. That 5 minutes is actually 20 minutes, because you park and then you go in and then you wait in line and then you give the barista your order and then you have to wait for it to be made and then you have to check and make sure it's the right, taste, and maybe you need a little more something. And then by that time it's 20 minutes and then you go back to your car, right? So if you can spend 20 minutes in your travel to get your cup of joe, your cuppa, you can take 5. So what that looks like is before your feet hit the ground, unless you just have to take care of your biological needs, you sit and you set the timer for 5 minutes. And then you get up and you go. But how you start your day sets the tone for your day. Now, you can always restart your day at any moment during the day. Take 5. Take 5 minutes at the top of every waking hour, if you can do that. And intend. I'm not going to talk about intention in this particular session, but that intention for those 5 minutes. And then get up and go about your day. So this morning, we're going to just practice like we do, and it's spiritual practice, not destination. So we get to come back again and again to our favorite chair, or if you're driving, do not close your eyes, but your favorite chair, your favorite place. You can light a candle and then just sit, exhaling everything out of your body. And then inhale. And so for those that are watching on YouTube, I'm with my very sacred circle on Zoom. So we're going to jump off YouTube and just continue to meditate. If you have any interest in joining us, I will make sure you have all of that information in the show notes. My friends, meditate. Meditate before you caffeinate. Meditate before you medicate. Let your meditation be your sacred practice. And I will